Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Jaco Castro. The LTFRB has allowed non-consolidated PUVs to ply select routes until January 31, 2024. Under its Memorandum Circular Number 2023052, the LTFRB stated that individual operators in routes without consolidated transport service entity shall be allowed to operate until January 31. This is so as, quote, not to hamper the operation of public transportation routes without consolidated TSEs. During the one-month period, however, the LTFRB and its regional offices shall still be issuing show-cause orders for those that fail to consolidate in compliance with the Public Service Act. Based on data from the LTFRB, over 31,000 traditional jeepneys in Metro Manila have yet to be consolidated as part of the PUV modernization program. Likewise, 66% of jeepneys were not consolidated in Calabarzon and 63% in Zamboanga Peninsula. According to the Office of Transportation Cooperatives, only over 60 cooperatives have been formed from January to November. But for this month alone, they have received more than 90 applications and inquiries from various groups. Recall that transport officials and even President Bongbong Marcos have made it clear that there would be no extension for the December 31, 2023 deadline.
December 31, no? Very firm yung deadline natin. Pero dito sa opisina ng Office ng Transportation Cooperatives, tuloy-tuloy ang pagpunta ng mga individual, ng mga asosasyon, pati yung mga grupo, tuloy-tuloy sila na either nagtatanong or bubuo or sumama sa mga kooperatiba para sumama nga eventually sa consolidation. Ang daming pumupunta doon at hinihikayat pa namin sila na sumama at umabot sa deadline.
The Supreme Court has ordered the Transportation Department and the LTFRB to comment on the petition against the PUV consolidation deadline on December 31. Transport agencies were ordered to personally file with the SC their comments within 10 days. However, the SC did not grant a TRO to halt the implementation of the PUV consolidation. Piston and other transport groups are the petitioners. In other news, all public hospitals are now on code white alert until January 2, 2024. This means all personnel, especially those in emergency medicine, surgical, and anesthesia specialties, and nurses are on active on-call status. According to Health Assistant Secretary Ariel Valencia, this is done yearly to respond to incidents of fireworks-related injury as the public welcomes the new year. Based on the agency's latest count, the number of firework-related injuries this holiday season has now reached 88. That's after 30 new cases were reported on Thursday. The DOH says that the number is increasing compared to previous years. The agency is also monitoring the possible increase in tetanus cases, a type of infection. They say that regardless of the type of wound, whether small or large, it can result in tetanus. So when punctured, immediately go to the nearest health facility to see if anti-tetanus vaccine is needed.
Ano ba yung pwede mangyari kapag di mo dinala sa ospital? Yung pinakamalaking senyales, yung tinatawag na lockjaw. Nahihirapan igalaw ang panga kasi naninigas.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Some Filipinos who did their holiday shopping were left disappointed by the apparent smaller sizes of products they bought for medianoche. For manufacturers, the practice is called shrinkflation. Shrinkflation allows manufacturers to shrink or reduce the size or quantity of their products, while prices remain the same. Consumers notice that sizes of their usual bread have become smaller, while contents of the usual sardine cans they buy have decreased. The Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association says shrinkflation is nothing new, but more manufacturers have been doing it since the pandemic.
They're saying that pandaraya. No, it's not. It's a choice. Like yung size ng sardinas, they're both available on the shelf. So, hindi naman tinanggal yung isa eh. Kung tinanggal yung isa, sabihin mo, nanlilin lang. Both are available and on the label, nakalagay naman yung weight.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue is imposing a 1% withholding tax on online platform providers. The BIR will impose a withholding tax of 1% on 1/2 of the gross remittances of the online platform providers of the sellers of goods and services. The withholding tax imposed, however, will not apply if the annual total gross remittances to an online merchant for the past taxable year have not exceeded 500,000 pesos. Also excluded are online sellers with cumulative gross remittances to an online merchant in a taxable year that have not yet exceeded 500,000 pesos, as well as those cooperatives with a valid certificate of tax exemption. Let's now take a quick look at other stories we're watching. Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo spoke with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken over the phone on Thursday. The Foreign Affairs Department says they discussed important opportunities for further strengthening cooperation in 2024. SMNI is asking the Court of Appeals to stop the National Telecommunications Commission from implementing the 30-day suspension on the network. SMNI says the suspension violates several provisions of the Constitution, including the right to due process. And a recent SWS survey found that 96% of Filipinos would enter the coming year with hope, up 1 point from last year. The record high 96% figure was only obtained twice before, in 2017 and 2019. And that's it for this hour. Join us again at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.